How are you guys all doing? So I missed you guys. So it's been a while since I last posted on both Instagram and on YouTube. I just wanted to come back on and kind of do a little bit of a checkup for the Virgo new moon. Now let me tell you a little update on my life for this past week has been really rough, especially with my mental health. I have been struggling a lot when it comes to anxiety, depression, suicidality, you know, that type of thing. So it's been really heavy a lot lately, and I will go a little bit more about why, especially when it comes to astrology and why that is, because there's a lot of things going up right now with the planets and why we're feeling a certain way and why people certain waves are like really feeling it and then others are not. You know, it just depends on your journey. Now keep in mind that this is a general reading and not everything will resonate, so just take what does and just kind of like throw the rest, okay? At first I was going to post a video on the 999 portal, and I was going to talk a little bit more about my mental health story, but for some reason it was like I was guided to pull back, like really pull back, like my energy in all directions, because it was, how Spirit would put it, like an SOS, like it's time for emergency self-care in a way, and to focus on self-love really at this point in time. I've been getting a lot of answers to a lot of questions that I've been asking for quite some time. So overall, like I'm feeling like I'm getting some sort of clarity, but I'm also going through that limbo stage where definitely I'm being pulled back into that dark night of the soul feeling, kind of like in the tarot, like that devil energy, that Capricorn energy is what I'm feeling, 10th house energy. I feel like this is global and everything like this, and this has to do with the age of Aquarius coming pretty soon, okay? As you know, I live in Washington State, so we've been dealing with quite a bit of wildfires over here, and so the ventilation, the air hasn't been so clean. It hasn't been the best, and I've been really affected because I do have asthma or whatnot, so I've been really like cautious and trying to stay safe, staying indoors, but I really am praying for those who are affected in California and Oregon as well. I also think there were other states that were going through it, like Idaho or whatnot, but especially around this region, Washington State, like I really pray for the animals that were affected, that lost their lives, as well as people who have lost many things. Quite important as far as element wise, especially with the astrological events going on. But I want to make mention, as much as fire can be destructive, it also is a symbol for purification in order to wipe out the old in order to enter the new. As much as, like I always state on this channel, whatever you lose you will gain back it, like even more, even better, okay? But it's the loss factor, it's the devastation factor is what really hurts the most, is the painful factor. And I feel like there's been a lot of purging, like I mean massive purging, and I'm talking about mad triggers, like deep-rooted triggers, like especially within the root chakra. A lot of fear stored within the root chakra, the sacral, and the solar plexus, especially for the divine feminine collective and the divine masculine collective, okay? But overall, man, it's just been heavy. There were times where I felt like I'm not gonna make it, like I'm dying, and I've had so many panic attacks, things that I am used to dealing with those types of things because I've been dealing with anxiety for quite some time, but this time, I don't know why. I guess it has to do with everything that's going on. It's like as much chaos is being shown right now on the physical realm, Spirit is saying that there's a lot of balancing going on in the spiritual, but in order to find balance, there must be some form of imbalance right here. So we're going through this, we're feeling this, but it's going like this, okay? Kind of like similar to a scale, and they're showing me a little bit around Libra season, which is the fall equinox, which is coming up on September 22nd, I believe. So yes, and then the Virgo new moon is coming up towards this week, fairly soon, within a couple days when I'm filming this, okay? Because today is September 15th or 16th. I think it's the 16th today. So okay, anywho, I am praying, and my wishes, best wishes, and I give you guys hugs and kisses and prayers to anybody who has been affected around this time, as well as the tsunamis that are going on right now in the southern region of, you know, the US. My heart goes out to you guys. Really, I feel like as an empath, it's really heavy around this time because especially if you are sensitive as well, you feel kind of everything that's going on around you, not only your pain, but everyone else's, because we're all kind of connected. So I just, you know, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that, you know, you find the healing that you need. I wish for healing. Astrology wise, we have the Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter conjunct right now, so this is why we're feeling that heavy energy. Pluto is that Scorpio like energy, as well as Aries, which is kind of like that fiery death transformation. Ooh, and thinking, so throat chakra, I'm feeling like, especially divine masculines, divine feminines, your throat chakras have been very affected right now heavily, so really go ahead and check that out and get some blue crystals, or like listen to some throat chakra music or something and just put it like right here, or clear quartz, whatever it may be, especially Archangel Gabriel coming through. All right, but Pluto is a transformational planet, which is why you possibly are seeing phoenixes, butterflies, right? I'm also seeing lotus flowers as well, which is another symbol of that, which is growth, that dark period right now, and the transformation, which is kind of like that painful, we're going through that phoenix burning stage, figuratively really, and literally right now. So we're going to be growing from the ashes right now that we're buried in. Okay, and then Saturn is basically the ruler of karma, and also the ruler of Capricorn, so it's that 10th house energy. Pluto is that 8th house energy, so if you're seeing 808 to 818, or with Saturn you're seeing 1010, 1001, you know, closing of cycles, ending of karmic cycles as well. Right now Saturn is just saying like, I'm just doing my job, I'm going around fulfilling karma, rewards, whether it's like whatever you put out there is what you get back. Okay, so Saturn is definitely like, it's that devil energy, which is, we should not fear the devil, because the devil is just a part of our human consciousness, which I believe. Okay, you believe whatever you want to believe, but for what I believe is that the devil is just part of our human consciousness. It's just part of us. It's just what makes us human. It represents the ego part of ourselves, and right now a lot of us are going through that ego death, and it's very harsh and very scary sometimes, and a lot of fear comes out, and triggers and everything like that. So right now, all of that dark night of the soul, you know, going through that process, it will all line up and add up for a reason over time, but it may not feel like it right now. It just feels like a bunch of chaos and a bunch of like crappy feelings, all right? But over time, it will make sense, okay? And it's going to add up to the final, you know, destination you guys want to be in, all right? The law of polarity. In order to have extreme happiness and peace within life, one must go through immense pain, you know? So it's kind of like that equal give and exchange type of thing is what Spirit is saying to me, and I'm hearing it ring in my right ear. And Jupiter is the, you know, big daddy, grandpa Jupiter, okay? Is the planet of expansion, okay? And Jupiter is also like ruler of storms and thunders and everything like that, thunder, as well as, you know, Sagittarius is the 9th house, I believe. Yes, the 9th house, Sagittarius. So a lot of the, you know, centaur energy as well, but I'm also in bow and arrow. I'm also feeling that Sagittarius are like the teachers of the zodiac. It's things that you can learn. So Jupiter is also something that expands. So any karmic rewards that are handed out right now are like times 10. Okay, normally it would be like, you know, normal karmic rewards, but when you add Jupiter to the mix, it just times it by like 10. Okay, so if you're feeling really like devil-like energies, you're gonna feel it times 10. Okay, but if you're feeling extreme happiness and bliss and peace and abundance and all of that, and calmness, and you know that you're okay, and you believe that you're okay, and you have faith that everything will work out how it should be, then yes, your karmic reward will be what, times 10. Something that you guys have, like, you know, you neglected in the past that you didn't want to really like handle right now in your psyche, is coming up to the surface in order to be let go. It's coming up through triggers, possibly within your dream state as well, because mind you, Neptune is still in Pisces, so there's still a lot of illusions, a lot of dream state, a lot of wonky dreams going on right now, and messages going into your dreams, okay? And a lot of DNA activations as well as upgrades within your vessels is upgrading as well. So that's probably why you're feeling some form of ascension symptoms like heaviness or pain within the shoulders or the joints or the neck, or headaches possibly, back pain, okay, lower back pain, possibly feeling nausea sometimes with the solar plexus. Now these conjunct of Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, since you mark all three of them, they're all in the house of Capricorn right now. So basically Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter are all partying at Saturn's house. That's probably why we're feeling a lot of Capricorn energy, but you can use this energy to your advantage by grounding, by using this this time period to reflect, to use this time period to really figure out what is your life purpose. You're probably questioning, you know, everything that you possibly believe about yourself as well as others, or around the world situation, the current situations going on. It's making you question and really like sit down and practically think, you know, instead of being in the spirit. Yeah, there's like spirituality as essence, but this is really like bringing practicality into the mix. But yes, it does end on the 19th for the 999 portal, which is probably why we're feeling a lot of this gateway or end of a cycle type of thing, walking from one end into another. Okay, so there's a lot going on right now in the atmosphere. All right, like Libra is that energy of the scales, as well as balance being restored. Libra being as well possibly like flip-floppy when it comes to your communication. So because Libra can be like on one end or the other. All right, it's either on or off, or on or off or on, you know, that type of thing. So kind of like that yin yang energy that I'm feeling right now. But your communication factor is really like it's starting to feel wonky. The throat chakra, especially coming from the divine masculine's end, I feel like divine masculines, your throat chakra really needs to be worked on for sure. Focus on doing throat chakra meditations or getting some crystals or whatnot, working with the earth, and you know, doing that, or doing whatever you feel is necessary, how you do your healing work. You can do Reiki as well. That's another thing. But yeah, getting that cleared out in order to speak your truth, you know, being able to set boundaries as well, being able to openly share, you know, your opinions, your viewpoints without feeling shy or scared of feeling judged for it, you know. So if you feel like you've been getting a lot of like croaky throat or scratchy throat or whatnot, you know, please look into that as well. Also, Venus, which represents the divine feminine energy within us, is in the house of Leo, which is again a fire sign. Mars, the representation of the divine masculine, is in the house of Aries, double fire sign. So there's a lot of fire energy and a lot of earth and a lot of air, but not as much water. The only thing I'm feeling is more so Neptune with the water thing, but it's a given, it's in its own house. We need more water energy, we need more feminine energy is what I'm feeling right now. Okay, so and I feel like rain can be a big significance to this, or like water in general. So connecting with water or whatnot, or connecting with, you know, oceans or lakes or whatnot, like that is something that would help counteract the fiery like energy. Because mind you, if there's too much red, there's too much fire, it's destruction. But when you add water or ice in the mix, it causes like balance. Okay, so there has to be like opposites attract situation that I'm feeling. That's why I was feeling that yin and yang. Venus and Mars are both in the house of the fire sign. I feel like a lot of that fiery like passionate like energy going on right now, especially between the twins. You could feel a lot of sexual energy being passed on, like sacral chakra activations being exchanged between the dream state or energetically or whatnot, meaning like you might be feeling a lot more hornier than usual, or being very careful not to let anger or to let, you know, it's kind of like people are so susceptible to pop off throat chakra, being so susceptible to pop off and to like explode in that way. So being very careful to counteract that with the opposite, you know, meaning if you are prone to getting angry or have anger issues, time to cool down, sizzle down, and to bring in that water like energy into the mix in order to bring balance into the situation. If you're someone that is always cool, that's always watery, that's always flowing, but doesn't really like take action, or, you know, doesn't really like, you know, be as quick actively as a fire would, you know, then basically bringing that fiery like energy to get the ball rolling, to get things moving a lot quicker, a lot faster than water would be. You know, other spirit animals that are popping up are fish and spiders. Fish in particular, which is wealth, prosperity, and abundance, are just like also a sign of like that water energy, as well as Pisces coming through the dream state. So fishes is something in particular is just really important if that resonates with you, as well as spiders. I feel like oh my gosh, let me tell you, spiders have been freaking me out a lot lately because we are entering into October, so it's kind of like that spider season in a way, like Halloween's coming up pretty soon, but spiders have been making their appearance really well known right now in my life, and in fact they're like getting bigger. It's like getting big or whatnot, and it's just like, oh, I mean, I don't like spiders, okay? I don't want to deal with it, but it's a I do respect spiders. I respect the spirit of spiders, and it also represents like being caught in a web, or being caught, you know, being able to weave your own path in a way, you know, being able to be cunning. You know, kind of represents the knight, which is that divine feminine energy that I'm feeling and picking up on right now. So spiders are very important and they are needed, okay? However, there was this one spider that really freaked me out one time when it caught me off guard, and it ran across the floor when I was like distracted talking with my sister one day, and all of a sudden I just went like whoosh, and then it just scared the shit out of me. And I feel like that has to represent a lot of the fears that are coming up, as well as unexpected changes or unexpected surprises, you know, associated possibly with the divine masculine energy or the divine feminine energy, whatever it may be, okay, whatever fits the boat. Those angel numbers are 7 of 7, 717, which is the very spiritual number, mirrored numbers as well. 717 represents the physical union between the twins. I've been also seeing, like, again, the 8s, 9s, which is 999911. We just had 9/11, September 11th. So again, rest in peace to those souls that have perished. Again, associated with fire energy again. So there's a lot of like things or correlations right now. And also 911 is a number for Archangel Michael. So keep that in mind. So that's about protection. I'm getting 1001 or 1010 again with the mirror numbers, closing of cycles. 1221 is another thing, which is also the winter solstice that's coming up, but we got to pay attention to the fall equinox, okay? So that's I'm getting way ahead of myself, but something to do with the winter solstice around that time, as well as the 1221 portal or the 1212 portal. I'm also getting 1331, 1717, 1111, which is the Aquarius Make-A-Wish energy. Any wishes you made in the past will start coming true, so be careful what you put out there. 111, which is the cheers to new beginnings that are coming and heading your way, and as well as taking the leap of faith towards your dreams, like taking action. Okay, 555, which is conflict that comes with change. So this is the conflict and chaos energy that we're feeling. Sailor Moon. 606 and 616, very masculine-like numbers for sure. I'm also seeing that this is representation of balance being restored within the connection, as well as going on right now earthly. Okay, because right now Mother Gaia is purging, as well as cleansing out old cycles herself, just as much as we are. So it's just a physical representation of what's happening kind of spiritually, and what we're feeling on the inside, depending on what part of the journey you're on. But the masculine energy, it probably has something to do with that. They're really clearing out old cycles, as well as moving on to that next stage in life. And it's really good, because I am very proud right now that there is movement forward going on both ends. As much as there may seem to be stagnant situations going on, that's what you gotta make sure that you're not paying attention to those mirages or those illusions going on. So whatever you may be perceiving right now on the outside may not be true that's going on behind the scenes. Okay, so be very, use your intuition, Spirit is saying. Practice using your gifts. Okay, and the another numbers I'm going to throw out are 1133, 1144, and 122. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested. Symbolisms and other synchronicities they've been pointing out to me to start looking more into remote viewing. I will be getting more into scrying. I've been getting more into like that mirror work as well. And also Spirit saying, please be like, if you need, start writing, start doing affirmations or mirror work or whatnot. For me, I like to take like an expo marker or whatnot and write on my mirrors and write down like, you know, my affirmations or whatnot, and then I read it out loud. And I'm trying this new thing where I read it out loud before going to bed at night, so that would help as well. And I'm feeling Mother Oshun energy. I don't know why that's coming through. Sorry. So when you are burping or releasing gas or whatnot, that is the solar plexus, by the way. But I'm releasing stuff out of it. But Oshun is the ruler of the solar plexus, by the way. Funny. So the yellow sunflowers, honeybees. I'm feeling bees, honey, anything to do with fertility. Okay, as well as Isis. Oh, I heard in my ear. Okay. Yes, so she's around, and she's really helping the divine feminines know their worth. Okay, and I will tell you a little bit story at the end of Oshun that a lot of people know of, and I'm pretty sure you've heard that story before if you are familiar with Orishas, and there's many different versions of the story, but I'm going to talk about the story that I heard. Okay, and I'm just going to pass it on in case someone needs that or not. But I will talk about it towards the end of this video, okay? So right now, people are balancing out practicality with spirituality at this point in time. And I'm feeling like a lot of people, especially the Divine Masculine Collective, I'm feeling it's like wanting to pack and leave, like wanting to desperately like get all your stuff and just like go to leave. And I'm not talking about like in a running style or whatnot, not like that. I mean like getting ready to really leave those old paradigms, those old set mindsets, those old people that you used to associate yourself with, that really are like energetic vampires to you, that are bringing you down. Those thoughts that are bringing you down about yourself as well as others, your perception, all of that. Right now I feel like it's figurative and as well as possibly real, that someone's getting ready to move or getting ready to like pack up their stuff and as well like leave their current situation in order to move on to a new one. Does that make sense? That might resonate just specifically for just some people, but not everyone, okay? And yeah, so and as well I'm feeling more of like Yeshua energy, which is like that Jesus 24/24, by the way. So if 24 represents or sixes, okay, 6 I'm feeling Yeshua energy, which is like the original name for Jesus, and that is like I'm feeling like that crucifixion type of feeling, like feeling like you're carrying that heavy weight on that back or that type of thing. And I feel like the Divine Masculines are going through that feeling, those feelings, those initiations right now. They're really like going through their awakening. I really feel like they're surrendering. Yeah, so it's really heavy energy, my goodness. So if you are feeling depressed, anxiety, suicidal tendencies or whatnot, remember I did say that Virgo season is all about mental health in that aspect. So Virgos are tendency to get, have depression or whatnot, or deal with some form of depression. So if you are dealing with that, just know that this has something to do with the astrological events. But however, please get the help or seek the help that you need, as well as Spirit saying open up that throat chakra because you need to speak. Because just like if you guys know Ralph Smart or whatnot, he made this quote one time, it was like a while ago. He said something about suppression is depression. So go ahead and check out Ralph Smart if you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to him. Suppression is depression. So the more you suppress your feelings, the more you suppress your emotions, the more you suppress what you feel on the inside and you can't speak it, the more that it will create depression, the more it will create heaviness and whatnot. So really it's around that time to speak out on your pain or your experiences, whether you're making a platform for yourself, whether you're starting a blog, whether you're making a website, whether it's I don't know, you sharing your experiences through writing a book, whatever it may be that really resonates to you or really pops up to you, go ahead and take that time, especially writing, to write out your feelings and emotions. If you feel like you cannot speak to somebody, writing is a really great form of transmutation, okay? People who are dealing with that, please, seek help or call emergency services if you feel like it's really getting to that point, okay? All right, if it's becoming an emergency situation, right, or a crisis. I'm also seeing the words union pop up quite a bit on the journey, like anywhere. Like I've been seeing union, street union, apartment buildings union, like whatever it may be. It's just the word union that just pops up in many different areas like right now. And I'm feeling like there's another wave that's coming through that's about to hit into this union like energy, and we will be going through the 1010 portal in October, which is October 10th, and that can be significant as well. But right now we're still in that 9 like energy, which is 9 is the number for karma, by the way. So if you want to know, fun fact. If you're seeing the word union anywhere, whatever it may be, it could be a sign or a symbol saying that you are coming into spiritual union with yourself as well as the divine. But it also means it's a promise of union in your life, within your journey, if you guys resonate with the twin flame journey, or if you guys know or you're aware that you're on that journey. It is a representation that if you guys are in union, or whether you're in physical union or not, you guys are always in union, okay? But it's just showcasing that energy right now coming together, that yin and yang forming together to bring balance and harmony. Like I said, the divine masculine, divine feminine journey, the twin flame journey feels like a dance. There's push and pull energy until it becomes like this. So it's like if you guys have more karmic things to deal with within your life, it's gonna pull away like a magnet, okay? It's gonna like repel. But the more that you do your work, the more that you focus on you and loving you and self-love journey, etc., and realizing that you are whole within yourself, doing your spiritual work, finding your purpose, working on your purpose or whatnot, the more that it's just bringing you together. And it's that perception, that illusion, that ego that makes you feel like the further the way it is, but really the closer it is to you. It's divine timing. You can't force a journey. You cannot control the journey. That's what Pluto will teach you, to release all control within this journey as well, and just stop swimming upstream and just release and just allow yourself to go downstream and be carried by the current and go to your destination. All right. If you've been feeling that depression, anxiety, and all of that, it could possibly mean that I relate. I really do. It means that you are trying too hard at something. You are trying to push or force something that is not meant to happen right now, currently, and you're being frustrated, or you feel like everything's happening to you rather than around you. Okay, so it's about changing that perception right now. I'm also seeing a lot of like water in my dreams, a lot of water energy, so good sign, a lot of cleansing coming through. It's also that feminine energy, as well as seeing tattoos. So if you have a tattoo, or you resonate on wanting to get a tattoo, or if your twin has a tattoo, or you have a tattoo, that's quite significant. That's popping up, but it's just there's some form of art that's on the body. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and tell a little bit of story right now about Oshun, Mother Oshun, and I did tell the story, like I've received and heard this many variations of the story, but this is the one that, you know, I like to talk about. But it's kind of figurative of what's going on right now in the world. And there was a time, and it's similar to the twin flame story. There was a time where Oshun, she's the ruler of like fertility, as well as the liquid, the sacral chakra, the liquid that is within the feminine, within the female, in order to give birth, within the placenta, as well as the semen, the liquid that provides you know, life for the egg, etc. You know, she represents quite a bit. And there was a time where a lot of the Orishas, or just humans in general, felt like they didn't need Oshun's energy, whatnot, and they felt like they just didn't need her, which she was not needed. Her energy wasn't needed, as well as the waters. So Oshun felt like, okay, you know, if I'm not needed, I'll just leave and go to the moon, because I know my self-worth. And so she said, because Oshun is a very beautiful, like that younger sister type, you know, very cunning. She was also known for being very sexually active as well. I'm also seeing the peacock energy that's coming through for her, so very much epitome of beauty. So she went to the moon, which represents the divine feminine energy, and she just worked on her mirror work or whatnot. But while she was there, Earth was decaying. There was a lot of, you know, fires, a lot of energy, a lot of drought, because there was no water. Females, or like people, couldn't have babies. They couldn't provide enough liquid for the babies or whatnot. So there was a lot of chaos that happened on Earth. And the thing is that at one point, I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your guys' name. Oludumare, which is the Most High, basically said, "Where's Oshun?" And pretty much asked all the other Orishas, especially the more predominant masculine Orishas, that where's Oshun? And they felt like we don't need her or whatnot. And so Oludumare said, well, go and get Oshun and bring her, because obviously you do need her. Otherwise, there's no balance, there's no harmony, there's no life to be formed here on Earth without her. So stubbornly enough, a lot of the Orishas had to go up there basically to tell Oshun, hey, I am sorry. I am so sorry for the way that we treated you. I'm sorry for thinking that you were not needed or whatnot, and you know, that type of thing. So it took for, it hurt her. I'm pretty sure it hurt her soul in order to watch Earth decay like that. But at the same time, she was teaching boundaries. She was teaching self-worth. She took the time out for herself and just to say, you know what, I'm gonna pull back my energy entirely, which is that water energy. I'm gonna pull it back, and just to see and give you a glimpse, to not have me there. Okay, so it's like similar to the divine masculine, divine feminine situation. There's a dance and a pool and all of that, but then there comes a time where one or the other does not appreciate one's energy or whatnot, or takes more than they can give, vice versa. So there's an imbalance right now, and what it takes is for the divine feminine energy to realize their worth and to pull back their energy. It doesn't matter male or female, okay? Mind you, divine feminine doesn't pertain to gender, it's just energy. But to pull back their energy as a way to really like show what it's like to have absence, to be without, okay? And it's a symbol, because fire is more of a masculine like energy, as we know. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Again, if you have predominantly fire within your chart or whatnot, it doesn't mean that you're like, you know, masculine. It just means you have masculine like qualities in you, okay? But fire is predominantly a masculine element, as well as water is more of a feminine element, okay? So now that you take the water away, there's just fire, so there's not enough balance to create, so it just expands, right? So that's why that rain symbolism is coming through, and the water symbolism is coming through, because it's used for cleansing, for healing reasons, right after the destruction of, you know, that sort. But two of them are one and the same. Earth and fire, water and air, and spirit, like ethers, are all the same thing. It's all one. It's connected. It's just we perceive them as different, and we categorize them as different, okay? So it's the illusion of separation, all right, is happening, which is kind of what's going on with the twin flames, the illusion of separation. Right now, I feel like the mother Gaia, the mother energy, there's healing of the mother right now. There's healing of the father as well, but I'm feeling more so healing of the mother, which is more so the divine feminine energy within us, the being able to receive the shadow aspects of ourselves right now is really coming to the surface. So if you've dealt with generational curses, or there was like, especially with the twin flames, like you've dealt with many different karmic cycles as far as that goes within your journey when it comes to the neglect of the feminine energy, that is coming up right now as a way of the return of the feminine. Eventually, over time, the Orishas, when they apologize, Oshun said, I did forgive you. Now that's why I say it's very important. Forgiveness is very important, but you do it on your own time. You do not force forgiveness, okay? That's one thing. The thing is like, if someone does do you wrong, you have the choice or not on whether or not you want to forgive or not. That is up to you. However, nothing will begin by exchanging hatred as well as anger, because it's just gonna, it's like that snake biting its tail in a way. It's just, you're only hurting yourself, all right, in the long haul. The forgiveness factor, it's very important to just forgive yourself rather than the other person. Forgive yourself for the situation is really the first step, and first and foremost. But Oshun did forgive, but she did warn, do not ever do that again. Don't do it again, all right? Don't neglect me again, thinking that you don't need the divine feminine or whatnot. Okay, so it's kind of like that concept right now with the divine masculines, what they're dealing with. The more that they neglect the divine feminine as well, in that energy wise, the more that there's chaos, the more that there's imbalance, okay? The more that they feel, what's the word? Lost. Does that make sense? We learn a lot from this fire-like energy, okay? We can use it to our benefit. It's just sometimes any element can get out of hand. Any element is healing, but as well as destructive. Does that make sense? So it's balanced. Like too much fire can create chaos. Too much water can create chaos, like tsunamis and stuff. Too much earth energy, which is earthquakes and stuff like that, or too much air, which is like tornadoes or any type of like wind, like heavy winds, those type of things. Those are like an examples of the shadow aspects, but that doesn't mean that they're considered bad, okay? And that's something that I had to learn, because that's something that I kind of associated with within my mind, within my belief. And I really, like this past week, within taking this little break away, pulling my energy away, has really taught me a lot through a massive tower moments, as well as transformational moments that were really needed. Okay, so don't feel shamed if you were crying or feeling triggered around this time, okay? Especially with these conjuncts of Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, it will not last forever, okay? Spirit says, because I think the last time that this happened was in the 1500s, and it's happening again now in 2020, so you can imagine like the amount of stuff that's happening right now and why you're feeling that. Especially if you're sensitive, you can really feel what's going on, the transits that are going on right now up there. Oshun energy, she did eventually come back down, she did return, and there was harmony restored back into humanity as well as on earth, okay? But however, it was a lesson learned, okay? And I feel like we could take a lot from that story and learn a lot from Oshun, you know. And the thing is that Orishas, they depict as well as human consciousness or human aspects of ourselves as well. A lot of deities do, is for me, like in my opinion, they especially Orishas, they have a lot of human-like aspects about themselves, because they did have human lives at least once, you know. They have stories of them when they were humans, okay? Yeah, They're saying Shango as well, if you guys know Shango. That energy about when he was a human, and he ended up taking his life, I believe, but that, I guess that kind of goes into the suicidality energy that I'm feeling. And Shango was also a husband of Oshun, so they were associated. So I'm not going to go too much into the Ifa faith right now. But overall, this is what I'm going to leave you with as far as an update with the Virgo new moon. There's a lot going on right now. Start writing more, so I got more things like this is my twin flame notes. I write in here. I got a gratitude journal now, so I'm writing down what I'm grateful for, like 10 things I'm grateful for every day, which is another thing, a gratitude, like try doing a gratitude list. Then I have my spells, manifestations type of thing, an affirmation journal, which is where I do it. And then I have my emotions and mental health journal. So this is where I write out basically what I'm feeling on the inside, you know, the turmoil that I'm going through, whatever it is, whether I'm feeling happiness. It's like a mental health check-in. And I normally used to do this back then when I was going through my hospital days and therapy days. But this time I decided to bring this back out and to start writing again. And it feels it really helps, okay, especially with transmutation of pain energy. It really does. And if you feel like you can't write and you don't like writing, then go ahead and type it out if you want to on your computer or on your phone, whatever it may be. It doesn't just have to be writing, but I suggest writing things out really help for sure. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a reading for the twin flames, separate messages from divine masculine, divine feminine, and divine feminine to divine masculine, because they want me to do this separate. Okay, they want me to get a little bit more info as far as that goes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, stop this, and this is part 1. Go ahead and watch if you're guided to. If you're divine masculine, you want to know messages from your divine feminine, go ahead and watch that video. If you are divine feminine and you want to hear messages from your divine masculine, go ahead and watch that as well. If you guys want to watch all 3, kudos to you, but this will, if you feel guided to. But overall, this message right here today, this overall astrology update or whatnot, let me know if this resonates or not, or you know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. Kudos. I really love hearing your guys' input and what is a general. So I'm pulling from different parts of the journey, as well as incorporating some parts of my perspective of my journey, because mind you, I'm on the twin flame journey as well, just as much as you guys. So there's been a lot of heavy transformations going on as always, but I just feel like significantly this time period right now, there's a lot. Okay, it's yeah, okay, and it could have been just me, but I feel like this is a collective thing. I feel like this is a several thing. So if you are feeling it and you are going through it as far as ascension wise, then my heart goes out to you. Okay, send you on your way. Peace to you guys. Have a lovely day. Take care of your energy. Stay protected. All right, really get black tourmaline or something, or tiger's eye. I'm also looking into getting an evil eye as well as the eye of Horus, so I'm really looking into that right now. But stay protected, okay? So this is like black tourmaline and tiger's eye. I'm not trying to scare people or you know, spread any type of fear mentality. I just want you guys to basically stay up on your spiritual protection, you know, or whatnot, because physical protection wise, you know, staying armed protection wise is important, but spiritually staying protected, people don't realize that there's a lot of factors that can pull from your energy, and it doesn't have to be just in the physical realm. It could be something spiritually that's going on right now. And so just wanted to let you guys know. Peace to you. Leaving you guys with this message. See you guys next week.